Hey y'all, thanks for joining me in this Q&A session where we're going to talk about the most common issue that I hear that new, small, and part-time YouTube creators are struggling with, and that is consistency. So I'm going to be answering y'all's questions related to consistency, and I'll also share some tips on how you can show up on and for your YouTube channel on a more consistent basis. So I posted a survey in my socials asking YouTube creators why they thought that they couldn't be more consistent on YouTube. Was it because they were too busy? They just didn't have enough time? There were too many distractions? They didn't know what to post? They didn't feel motivated? They're disorganized or something else? And by and far, the most popular answer was they didn't have enough time. But I did see a comment that kind of piqued my interest. And that comment said that it could be that they're too impatient to invest the time and faith in the process. And I want to start off by saying that you need to be honest with yourself. Are y'all going to put in the work on YouTube or not? If not, that's perfectly okay because YouTube isn't for everyone. But if you don't feel like you want to put in the time and go through the process of growing your YouTube audience, I'd much rather you guys find something else to do that's going to benefit you in some other way. But for those of us who are wanting to invest the time and the effort into YouTube, or any business for that matter, showing up consistently is important. So if you're new here, my name is Tony Tanner Scott. I'm the business manager for the Raven Elise TV internet business. I'm the creator of the YouTube Growth Masterclass, and I help creators grow their audience and income on YouTube. Tonight we're going to be talking about consistency as it specifically relates to small, new, and part-time YouTube creators. And I'm going to be answering y'all's questions, like I said, because this is a Q&A, but only as it relates to consistency on YouTube or other social media platforms. That's all we've got time for tonight, but I will be having future live Q&As on some other subjects. So welcome, come on in. I'm going to add a comment. I'm checking out who's in the audience. Are there any part-time or new YouTube creators in the audience? Drop a comment in the chat and let me know. If you are part-time or if you have a small channel or a channel that's kind of on the new side, because this is for you. Hey y'all. Hey Latanya. Hi Stephanie. Aisha. Taylor. Chef Ray. Hey. So let me know if you have a small or new YouTube channel, part-time and a new channel, currently a college student, new to YouTube, small channel, great, because y'all are in the right place. So what does consistency really mean to y'all? You can put in the chat. I want this to be kind of conversational. You guys put in the chat what it means to you to be consistent. And, there are no wrong answers. Just blurt it out, whatever comes to the top of your mind. What does it mean to you to be consistent on your YouTube channel? I'm still seeing small channels, having an organized schedule. That's it. Posting a few times a week. Great. Planned out. Perfect. Uploading more frequently. Staying on a weekly schedule. Having a posting schedule. Y'all are on top of it. Yes, that's what it means. But technically, the definition, or one definition of being consistent, is it's a defined set of actions that are performed on a regular basis. It is stuff you're going to do over and over and over again. So we got that. But why do you need to be consistent? We're just going to keep this in the YouTube context. Why do you think you need to be consistent on YouTube? I'd love to hear you guys' answers. I'm still reading the comments about what consistency is. Narcisse says it means, I'm going to just add this to the chat. It means more discipline, creating a schedule, because life gets so crazy that if you put it on the back burner, you may not get to it. I get that. Oh, so why be consistent? Just Cupid says because people expect it from you. It keeps your audience interested. It keeps your followers interested. YouTube recommends your channel the more consistent you are to grow your audience and get a fan base going. That is all true. That's absolutely true. I'm loving these answers that I'm getting from you guys. So, consistently actually directly affects your success in anything that you do. I mean, I'm constantly on a diet, so I can compare consistently following my food plan is going to mean that I'm going to do better on my weight loss journey. Being consistent means dedicating yourself to your goals and staying focused on the activities that you know you need to do to achieve the goals. It requires a long-term commitment and some discipline that help you do certain actions over and over again until you achieve your goals. But more than that, consistency involves a routine and then a schedule. And I feel like consistency is more of a challenge to small or new or part-time creators because you're not making money from YouTube. You may have a full-time job, and because of that, you have a full-time job. You may even be working 2 jobs. You might be in school. You might have kids, or you're taking care of a family member. Let me know if I have described your situation, or if there's any other situations that make consistency more of a challenge to new or small or part-time creators. Yeah, I love these answers because that's how you grow, going back to why you should be consistent, to keep the interest of your audience, to gain watch time and traffic. That's all true. Hey, Melly, this is all true. However, consistency, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more in the live, is more related to you and reaching your goals than it is to all the factors that you've described for YouTube, which are important too. Getting, showing up for your audience, getting YouTube to recommend your content. But because, I'm seeing that you guys have young children and you're working. Someone's in residency. Someone else has an office job and it's making harder for her to edit the videos. Probably when you were several months ago, you probably were working from home, as many of us were. We're all in the same boat. Listen, most YouTubers start off part-time. Hardly anybody just jumps right in it, and is able to devote their whole life to YouTube right off the bat. But I asked y'all that because I know what this is like. I raised 4 kids while starting several different businesses. And what I know is I never had enough time. It was really hard to focus on anything other than the kids. So I get it. Running a YouTube channel can be a challenge when you got all these other things going on. Someone has 2 small boys. Ooh, I know it's hard. And notice I said running a channel and not being a YouTuber. Running a channel versus being a YouTuber. And I said that because for those of you who have told me that being consistent on YouTube is an issue, I know that you see YouTube as a way of generating some kind of income for you. It's not just a hobby. That's why consistency is important for you. But yeah, when you're starting out, you're just trying to grow from maybe ground zero on YouTube, showing up consistently for your channel is really tough. I mean, some people might say, well, you just got to manage your time better. Stop watching so much reality TV. And that's part of it, but that's not all there is to it, as I'm sure you probably already know. Yes, Kara, this will be saved and you can watch the live in its entirety. I'm hoping it goes for about an hour, but you'll be able to catch it on my YouTube channel afterwards if you haven't been able to watch the whole thing. So Tyann is a full-time entrepreneur and a full-time stay-at-home mom. I've been there. It is hella hard. You know, a lot of moms feel like, oh, I'll just work from home and that way I can take care of my kids and work too. Easier said than done. Elevate with Vern says, YouTube keeps changing the rules and it's difficult to get good footing. That is true. All the social medias are going to constantly be updating and changing. They're changing to meet the needs of the audience. So what really changes, the audience changes. And so they have to change to keep up with it. But that's not what this live is about. But so people say, well, you just got to manage your time better. What does that mean? I mean, you just don't wake up one morning and say, well, today I'm going to manage my time better. That's it. I'm going to be consistent from now on. It doesn't work that way. But it can be done. You can do it. And tonight, I want to give you my best advice on how you can do it. This might catch some of you off guard because it may not be what you thought I was going to say. But you first need to start with your goals. Your goal is like that little pin you put on a map to mark your destination. That's where you're going to. That's where you want to get to. And you cannot figure out, how to get somewhere if you don't know where you're going. But before I get too far into talking about your goals, I want to mention that for the purposes of this conversation that we're having right now, tonight, I'm going to assume that you've already honed in on your why, your purpose, your mission, so to speak, on YouTube. And if you haven't already spent some time on this, you might have a little bit of trouble zoning in on your goals. But if you guys want, I can do a future Q&A on how to get clear on this. But for now, I just want to hear about your goals. I want to focus on your goals right now. So what goals do you guys have for your YouTube channel? Just let me know in the chat. Again, no wrong answers. Blurt it out. What are your goals that you have for your channel? There's a lot of comments. I'm hoping I don't miss any. Anybody have goals they want to share? Consistent viewers. Just Cupid. I want to be eligible for monetization. Great. Some of you just want to get started. Build a community. Monetization. Wow, now they're coming. Just to be able to start and get consistent views. Gain more followers. Continued growth. Increase engagement. To have Chef Ray, chef, girl after my heart, a top goal is to have YouTube be an extension of my virtual cooking classes. Absolutely. That's absolutely a good goal for your YouTube channel. So these goals that you guys are commenting are goals. They're good goals, but they are things that you want. Getting a certain amount of subscribers, getting a certain amount of views, building a community, maybe even making a certain amount of money, getting monetized. All those are great goals. Susu says she wants to build a community and hit 200K. Those are great goals. But here's the thing. Those are all things that you can't really control. There are things that you can do. There are things that these things that you're talking about, these are things that you want, but you really don't have any control over. So what you need to think about is what kinds of things can you do to get the things you want? What kinds of things can you do to reach that monetization level, y'all? What kind of things can you do to um, build a supportive community? What kind of things can you do to gain more followers? What kinds of things can you do even just to get to, if your goal is to just start? Anybody? What kinds of things can you do? What goals, what can you do to get the things you want? Diamond says, be consistent. We're going in circles here. Yes. You lie short. Let me see. What else? Post. Now we're getting a little closer. Melly says post once a week. Tabitha says being consistent. Well, how about this? Let me help y'all out here, because some of you are on the right track, but there are the things you can do to get the things you want. It may be, if the thing you want is to get to a certain number of subscribers or build a larger community, then the thing you need to do is to post a certain number of videos a week. If you want to get more views, and the reason people view your video is looking at your title and your thumbnail, then the thing you can do is work on creating better thumbnails. If you want more watch time so that you can get to that monetization level, then you need to be sure that people are watching as much of your videos as possible. So the thing you need to do is get better at editing, looking at your analytics and seeing where people are dropping off, and then making your next video better than the last. And guess what? All these things that I'm talking about, study your analytics. So it's the action items that you can do that actually get you what you want. So in the context of this conversation about consistency, we're going to be focusing on the things you can do, the things you can control. And all those things I just talked about, like posting a certain number of videos, creating better thumbnails, get better at editing, those are all little pins on your map. That's the goal you're driving for. Not getting to, your big goal is get 200,000 subscribers. But in order to get to that goal, maybe you need to post more videos. Maybe you need better thumbnails. Maybe you need to get better at editing. So those are the goals that are going to drive your consistency. So step one is to focus on the things you can control. And that's what's going to get you the things you want. So think about what you want, and then think about the things that you need to do that are going to get you what you want. I just gave you some examples, and I'll just go over another simple example right now. You want to get more subscribers. What is it you need to do? In order to do that, you may have to post a video every week. So posting a video every week is the goal you're going to focus on. I want more watch time on my videos. In order to do that, I need to get better at editing to keep my viewers engaged. So working on improving your editing skills is the goal you're going to focus on. Does that make sense, y'all? Let me know in the chat if this is like, oh, this just went left. I wasn't thinking along those same lines. But bear with me, because I'm actually going to show you how to get it done. So now you've got your goals lined up. You know you need to, especially I feel like for new creators, a big stumbling block is just getting the videos up. That's what they're talking about, consistency. And y'all can let me know if I'm off base right here. But I feel like for the new and the small channels, the biggest stumbling block is just getting the doggone videos up. So you got your goals lined up, and now you just need to do it, right? Now you just need to get going. Wrong. That's wrong. Because unless you have a plan, you're probably never going to even get started on getting to your goals, much less working on them consistently. And I know you're thinking, well, there's all this stuff to do. Like, when am I going to get it done? Where am I going to find the time? That's when your plan comes in. So the plan is using the example for your goal to post one video a week. I'm going to keep these examples very simple because I don't want to, I easily can go down rabbit holes. So using the plan of your goal to post one video a week, how are you going to do that? What's your plan? How do you set aside time to do that? Well, let me use me as an example because honestly, y'all, I think my life might be a lot more like yours than you would think. My time is basically divided into 3 categories: personal, job, work. Excuse me, personal, work, and business. So my work, my job, just like you guys have jobs. Some of you have full-time jobs. I have a full-time job. I have more than a full-time job with the Raven Elise TV channel. And then I have my business. And for you guys, this might be YouTube. So I'm sharing with you guys my Google Calendar. Like everybody else on the planet, I just have 24 hours in a day. So my time needs to be divvied up somehow. So let me show you what it looks like. This is simply time blocking. I've got hours that I am productive during the hours that I'm productive. So yours may vary. I get up at 6 o'clock and by 6 o'clock in the evening, my brain is done. Except when I'm talking to y'all because I like this. I'm done. I don't want to do anything. So my time is blocked out between 6 a.m. in the morning and 5 or 6 p.m. What I've done is color coded it. So I've got my personal stuff up top in pink, getting dressed, exercising, meditation, whatever your personal stuff is. And then the green or the light yellowish green is my job. That's what I do for the Raven Elise channel when I work on that. Now your time blocks are going to be different because you may work 8 to 5 and you may only have the weekend to work on your channel or evenings. And then my business, my YouTube business, is blocked off in purple. So the color coding really helps me differentiate the calendar, the categories at a glance. And then I also want to mention that, you need to be flexible. So right here, you see I have a personal thing right in the middle of my YouTube business. That's just how it is. That's what happened that week. Be flexible. It doesn't have to look the same every day. It doesn't have to look the same every week. So this little color-coded Google Calendar is a simple productivity hack that I use to keep me on track. And you can get a whole lot deeper into being more productive and reaching your goals. You could read a book that I'm reading right now called The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran, which is basically all about helping you achieve your goals faster. I'm just throwing that out there, but I know y'all probably say, I ain't got time for that. But one of the creators that I coach actually has several videos on productivity and goal setting and the 12-hour week. Her name is 12-week year, rather. Her name is Montel B. I'm going to put her channel up so you guys can see. She's got several videos that are extremely helpful on productivity and goal setting, and you guys can check her out. But basically, you need to schedule your time, at the very least, into manageable, categorized chunks of time. Multi-Sassy says the 12-week year changed her life. I believe it. I haven't finished the book, but it's been so helpful so far in actually getting me up. I've been wanting to do more on YouTube for my own purposes, my business, outside of Raven Elise TV, and actually reading that book and using these productivity hacks is what's got me up in front of you guys right now today. Otherwise, I would have still been saying, oh, I need to get on YouTube. Oh, I need to make a YouTube video. Oh, I need to connect with my audience. And it was never going to get done. So Life with Chai says, how did I allow myself to become more flexible? I feel like when I fall off the schedule, then I completely lose motivation and set myself back even more. Every day is a new day, Chai. Every day is a new day. There are days that I don't follow that schedule, and I just don't beat myself up for it. Tomorrow's the next day. I also use a Notion template for those of you that are familiar with Notion, that has my daily task to do every day. And if I don't get to it that day, I move it to the next day. I don't just forget about it altogether. So yeah, you beat yourself up for it, but it's going to take some time, some practice into getting into the hang, of being consistent. But the tool doesn't matter. Whether you use Google Calendar, whether you use a calendar on your Mac computer, whether you use a paper calendar and some different colored pens, the tool really doesn't matter. The point is to have something that lets you know what you should be working on when. So Aisha wants to know if there's any tips for college students. I know Raven was posting when she was in college and how did she manage it. She probably wasn't working on her schoolwork. I'm not sure. I know that she probably wasn't managing her time very well while she was in college. I also need to let you know that when Raven was in college on YouTube, dang near 10 years ago, things were a lot different. The YouTube game is different today. So she was able to, at that point, grow a sizable audience without any type of a strategy. But Aisha, for you as a college student, I urge you to do what I'm suggesting right now in this live. Create some type of a time blocking system to where you know that even if if you're super part-time, you only have 4 hours on the weekend to work on your 4 hours on Saturday and 4 hours on Sunday, 8 hours in a week to work on your channel, then that's where you're going to be working on it. But at this point, you've got your goals, you've got your plan, which is your time block calendar. You know where you're going and you have a general plan for getting there. So once you've blocked out these big segments of time, you can go ahead and move on to placing the smaller tasks that you'll need to execute in order to reach your goals. And that's the third thing you need in order to be consistent. Having a process for getting the work done. So your process is simply a set of tasks that are going to take you from point A to point B that includes all the steps in between. And I'm going to share with you guys the process, a really, really simple process for posting a YouTube video. It might look something like this. Planning the video, that involves several different steps. Filming the video, that probably also involves more steps. Editing the video, which has its own separate set of tasks. Taking the thumbnail photos, editing the thumbnail photos, uploading the video. Once you upload, you've got to take some steps to optimize it, to do your description, to do your links, your tags, your end screens, your cards, promoting the video, posting on other platforms perhaps, and engaging with your video, with your viewers. So those are all the steps that you need to do to post a YouTube video. These are my steps. Yours might be different. You might have more steps, but hopefully it's not too much less, because pretty much all these steps here are very important. And I want to say that I realized that part of my issue with consistency was, not remembering my process and not having all my steps. I mean, that was pretty simple and straightforward. If you've been creating YouTube videos for a while, you probably have your steps down, but it's still a good idea to put your little checklist to make sure you don't forget anything. Part of my issue with consistency comes from not knowing what to do next, or not remembering how to do something. Where do I find my uh, end screens on the YouTube uh, back end? How do I create my template for this, that, or the other? Once, when the first TikTok I posted, and I don't have but about 5 of them. The first time I posted on TikTok, it took me all day. I kid you not, all day long. I was trying to post that TikTok story because I didn't know what I was doing. And then it was another month or several weeks before I wanted to post on TikTok again. And then I had to struggle through the whole thing again because I don't do it often enough to be adept at doing it. I was talking about the YouTube workflow. I'll also share with you guys those tasks, my editing workflow, because that's more complex for me, at least. These are my actual video editing tasks. And these are just notes I took, and I wrote down to myself each step I needed to do in order to get that video up. And it takes it from getting those files off of my camera onto a hard drive, and then going into the video editing software, editing it, and then what do? Then I've got to, upload it to YouTube. Then I've got to save those files somewhere. And finally, my last note to myself was to erase that SD card and start every project on a clean SD card to avoid erasing files by mistake. Why did I say that? Because that's a mistake I've made before. So everything that you need to take care of within your YouTube business needs to have a separate task list written down somewhere. It can be simple. You can have one that you print out, or it could be a Word doc that you save on your hard drive. Now, as your channel grows, you're going to probably want a productivity tool like Notion, like I just mentioned, or Trello, or ClickUp. As you add people to your team, you may need to make sure that they do certain things for you. But for right now, right now, I really think you guys should keep it simple. So what's great about this is that you may choose to do all the tasks, like for posting a YouTube video, you may choose to do all the tasks related to that video in one day. Or you could break it up and spread it out over several days. You may plan the video on this day, edit the video, film the video on another day, and edit the video on another day. But what you'll want to do is plug in those major bullet points, those main tasks, into your time block calendar. So I'm going to check in the comments, you guys. I have a hard time talking and reading the content. TikTok ain't for the weak. I know it. Thanks, Susu. I'm glad you feel like the masterclass has been helpful. I appreciate you. Victoria says, I plan out any sit-down videos, but it seems like it's harder to plan videos that aren't sit-down. That is absolutely true. But you can still plan them. The Raven Elise channel hardly does any sit-down videos, but each video is planned. And what I mean by planning is those things in the checklist. What's the title going to be? What's the thumbnail going to be? A big mistake a lot of creators make is saving that stuff until last. Like right before I get ready to upload it, oh, I need a thumbnail. I need a title. You should do those things first. Do those things first, because if you cannot think of, and I'm going a little bit off the consistency, I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole, but I'll just mention, if you can't think of a good title and a good thumbnail for your video concept, then it may be a video that you don't want to shoot. So when you're planning out your videos, that may be vlogs, that may be demos or unboxings, even whatever you may be planning, you want to have your title, your thumbnail, a shot list. What kind of uh, uh, footage are you trying to capture? You know, it may look like I want a shot of me, if it's a daily routine, I need a shot of me waking up, getting out of bed. I need a shot of me putting on my makeup in the bathroom. Then I want a shot of me making my coffee. Then I want a shot of me sitting down at my desk starting to work. Those shot lists are what you're going to refer to when you shoot your video, so that you just don't turn on your camera and start filming willy-nilly. Yes. Kia says, I like how RETV videos are planned to the point where they all flow together. That's taken some doing. We had to work on getting to that point, but we have to plan. So speaking of planning, do you have your video ideas planned out? You know, I'm talking about consistency, but I'm also going to harken back to planning. We have 100+ video ideas on the list. All of you should have at least 100 video ideas on the list. Not to say that you're going to make all those 100 ideas. Some of those ideas may be duds, but you need to brainstorm your ideas so that you can pick from that list and say, okay, I want to tell a story on my channel. What's actually going on in my life, and how can I string these events together in videos? What is it going to look like in the calendar? If you're working on your calendar right now, and if you are a vlogger, then you already know that Halloween is coming up, Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas is coming up. You need to have those videos, not the videos themselves 100% planned out, but an idea, those ideas listed and possibly plugged in on your calendar from now until the end of the year. And then as that time grows closer to filming those videos, then you go in, you take your time. And you may want to take 3 or 4 hours and just plan out all 4, if you're doing 4 videos a month, all 4 of those videos that you want to post that month. Yes, the shot list is important. Yes, 100, Melly. Yes, 100. If you're going to be on YouTube for the long haul, and even if you're just posting a video a week, I keep harping on a video a week. Y'all don't have to do a video a week. I think that's a good number to shoot for if you can. But that's 52 videos in a year. And like I said, all those videos aren't going to be good ideas. Yes, this is prime time for greeting card makers or any seasonal content. If you do home decor, you're going to want to show holiday stuff. You're going to want to show especially Christmas stuff. Make sure you don't miss anything. Hey, Nicole. I'm just reading through you guys' comments. Make sure I didn't. Yes, you're already in full Vlogmas planning over here. Most influencers, not just on YouTube, but the ones that are on YouTube, Instagram and other platforms, they already have their Christmas stuff shot. But we're talking about being consistent, and the way that you can consistently show up on your channel is to plan. Have those task lists. Your task lists are going to be different from mine. The things that you need to remember to do are going to be different. But I urge you to sit down and make yourself a task list for everything you do on your channel. You know, I've got optimization down, so I don't need to refer to a task list, but you may need to. You may need to say, hey, be sure I have a list of content that I want my cards to point to so that I can keep people watching my channel. Oh, I want to be sure and put this video in my end screen because it is highly related to this video that I'm just posting. And I want to make sure they have the opportunity to watch this video next. So you've got all your tasks. You can do something as simple as in your Google Calendar, in the notes section, put your task list in there. Or you could have it on a separate document. But by the time you finish all these tasks, by the time you finish executing these tasks, it's going to be time to start all over again. And when I start over, I mean starting with your goal, because that needs to be top of mind every single day. I want to post a YouTube video every week, or I want to post X number of YouTube videos each month. This goal needs to be top of mind. So write it on your whiteboard in your office, write it on a piece of poster board, stick it in your bedroom, tape it to your bathroom mirror, being Mary Jane style, put it on your computer as a screensaver. That's the one thing that I got, one of the things I got from the 12-week year is having your goals right in front of you. Because focusing on those goals is going to give you that little push to work on your plan and your process, which is going to get you to your goal faster. Now that is a cycle. Goal pushes you to work on your plan. The plan helps you work on your process. The process helps you reach your goal. So I know, you guys, that showing up on YouTube consistently so that you can get to where you want to be can be a bit of a challenge, especially if you have all this other stuff going on. But I believe that you can do it if you have a clear goal in mind, if you have a plan, if you have a process. I know you can do this because tens and thousands of other YouTube creators who started out part-time, they're now running full-time YouTube businesses and they're supporting themselves and their families in the process. So I want to encourage you guys to take action on what we've talked about today. I'm definitely your biggest cheerleader. I'll look in the chat and see if you guys have any other questions. If I need to be more clear about other things, we can talk about that for maybe the next 20 minutes. Jazzy says she tends to have her goal written down in her journal, but then you close the journal so the goals are in front of me. Yes, that is what I have. A bunch of journals. I have spiral notebooks all over the place. But I'm getting better about, and I urge you guys to try this too, get better about putting your notes and your goals and things in one place. If it's one journal, then make it be that. Don't be like me and have a huge stack of journals. If it's in Notion, go to Notion. I'm really working on that right now to actually be more consistent about looking at my Notion dashboard task list every single day, because I'll know what I didn't get to yesterday, what I need to get to today, and what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So Ashley says, everyone says treat YouTube like a business, but they never go into detail. This is what they mean. Absolutely. It's a lot of work. Do I have any templates for task lists? Well, I mean, I have the little list that I just put up for my YouTube video. I actually have bought a couple of 3 content calendar task list templates for Notion. I know that Vanessa Lau has one. You'll probably find some free ones out there. Victoria, someone saved their goals as a screensaver on their phones. Good idea. Great idea. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Cupcake Queen Raven has a question about short form content. We're going to talk about that on another live, but I can definitely say there's still going to be a place for long form, even as short form continues to rise. So Aaliyah, if you, or anybody, if you guys want my, I'll figure out how to do it. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'll be happy to share my Notion task list template that I made up. And I'll also be happy to share my YouTube and my editing template. Uh, Shoot, if you're not already on my mailing list, go ahead and go to my website, um, TonyTaylorScott.com. There should be a place for you to sign up for my mailing list. If there isn't, I'll be sure and add it there in the next day or so. If you're already on my mailing list, don't worry about it. I'll just send out an email blast in the next few days so everybody has these documents. I'm happy to share it with you guys. Um, the thing with me is that, this is Anika, is that wherever I am and whatever I'm doing, if an idea pops up in my head, I just go ahead and jot it down. Then I'm having a bunch of scribbles. Me too. Me too. So work on a process for that you do every time. Like I said, consistency is doing the same set of steps every single time. So if you are one who has ideas to just pop up, in the middle of the day, we typically always have our phone with us. So maybe your process is that I open up a notepad and I jot down my notes. And then when I get back to my desk, or when I get back to my laptop, I add them to my Notion template. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you came in late, you'll be able to watch the replay. How do you join the email list? I think that if you go to my website, I'm still trying to get myself together, you'll be able to join the email list. If not, I will be sure and put a link in this email, in the description box for this video within the next day. By the end of the day tomorrow morning, I'm going to commit to putting a link there so you can join my email list. I do send out periodically YouTube tips, just whatever's like on my mind that I think that creators need to know about. And then you can also, actually the best way to kind of have access to me is to join my free Facebook group. It's called the YouTube Growth Academy, and the link to join that is also in the description box. So, Janora asks, how do we successfully pick a time and day to post consistently? Well, I'm thinking what you're asking me is, what's the best time to post on YouTube? Because your YouTube analytics, if you have been posting to YouTube at all, your YouTube analytics will tell you the best time to post, the best time that your audience is online. But I think that the struggle is not knowing when to post, but knowing how to get those YouTube videos done so that you can post, right? I need an idea planner. What do you mean by that, Moni? An idea planner? You need somebody to help you with ideas? Yeah, that purple graph in if you guys are wanting to know when to post, there's a purple graph in your YouTube analytics that will tell you that your viewers online, most of them online at 3 o'clock. So you should probably post a little bit before that. But please, you guys, take some steps towards working on the things that are going to get you where you want. That's where you need to be more consistent. Taking those steps. Filming, editing, posting a YouTube video. Filming, editing, posting a YouTube video. Working on my thumbnails. Creating a better thumbnail than I did last time. Looking at my thumbnail, looking at my click-through rate. Comparing my click-through rates to previous videos to see, oh, this type of thumbnail did better than another type of thumbnail I did. So I'm going to try to create more of those types of thumbnails. Consistently, the thing I did to help the Raven Elise channel grow to where she is today is every single morning, and I still do this to this day. Every single morning, I'm in the analytics and I'm looking at what's going on her channel. And you guys may not have the time to do that every day, but I would urge you to set aside some time once a week or once a month even to look at your analytics. I'm looking at how did this video do compared to the last video? What are the real-time views looking like? What videos are people watching now that may not be recent videos, and why? What are the click-through rates looking like? Meaning, YouTube showed this video to X number of people, and this percentage of people actually clicked on the video and started watching. But we'll get into more of that in future lives. Do I have a video on how to create thumbnails? No, I don't have one on my channel, but there are plenty of people that have videos on how to create thumbnails. Names that I respect. Nick Nimmin, Sean Cannell, Aaron on Demand, Katie Steckley, Catherine Manning, whatever your flavor is. Search how to do a thumbnail, how to make a better thumbnail, and you'll find somebody with a video. I'm going to answer this one last question. Well, I got a little bit of time. I got a little bit of time, y'all. So if y'all want to ask a couple more questions, I'll be here. Did I learn these tips along the way or use the skills you've acquired in your chef business? No, I did not. I did not know what I was doing on YouTube when I first started helping Raven with her channel. When Raven needed help on her channel after she graduated high school, I just got busy learning. I just looked, I found the people that I just talked about who know what they're talking about as far as YouTube growth, and I studied their free videos on YouTube. I did reach out to a couple of them to see if they would coach, and maybe they were too busy. They never got back with me. So I was willing to pay these people to help coach us. Never got the answers, never got a response. By the end of that first year, I actually went to the Bid Summit conference where all the top YouTubers spill all the tea on all their success, and it blew my mind. I already knew like 89% of what they were talking about, but it was validated in going to Bid Summit. And every year since then, I've bought the replays. You guys can buy the replays. It's $199. The best investment you can make for your channel is to buy the replays from Bid Summit and watch them. Because here's the thing, when you go to Bid Summit in person, I mean, it's fast moving. They've got 5 or 6 different workshops going on at the same time. And you're just one person. So you've just got to pick like, oh, I think I want to watch this one over here. But in the meantime, you miss that one. The best part about the replays is if you've got the time, there are 45 workshops. I think I've watched 28 of them so far in the last week. You can watch all of them. And even the ones that I think, there's like 5 teenage boys on this, not teenage, but 20-something-year-old boys on this panel. I'm not going to learn anything. You best believe I learned something. So educate yourself. I love that you guys like having discussions with each other. This community is so important to me. I want to do more to nurture this community of YouTube creators, especially those of you who are small and new. I do already have a community of those that have the larger channels that are looking to get bigger. But I do want to continue to interact with you guys, and that's why I've made a commitment to be here every Thursday at 6 o'clock. And we're going to do this, and we're going to talk about more YouTube stuff. I think next week I'm going to talk, don't hold me to it, but I think next week we're going to talk about picking the right niche. Have you picked the right niche? What does it mean to have a niche? Should you niche? All of those things. And I hope to see you guys all here. You can watch the replay. And Let's do this again next week. Okay? See you later.